Howdy folks, welcome to this week's project. So what we're going to do this week is, this house has actually a slight mold problem. So what we're going to do is, this fan here, okay, the way you get rid of mold is, mold has these spores that it constantly releases. Is why you smell mold. And you'll notice it if you ever walk up on it. But the way you get rid of mold is you get it to where the air is flowing in the area so that it can't refresh its spores. Mold will die, it'll go away. So all you got to do is increase your air circulation. So what I did is I bought this fan. Now this is a 1500, what do they call it? CFU or something like that. It's a airflow basically. I forget the calculation for it. Somebody will correct me on it. Box is in here, I think. Yeah, here you go. Okay, this thing, all this is an attic fan. CFM, cubic feet per minute, okay? That's how much airflow basically you get here, okay? Tells you how much square foot and all this. My house is nowhere near 2,400 square foot, so this is fine. And this is actually just an attic fan, okay? I picked this thing up at Home Depot for like 80 bucks or something, okay? It has these little brackets that go with it, the whole deal, okay? All we're gonna do though is, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna mount this under the floor, okay? So what'll wind up happening is, we're going to cut out a square here, which my tile works out pretty convenient here. Makes it nice and easy. You can see cutting around it. If you don't have the tile squares, it actually comes in a little box like this. It fits right over that. Just measure this. Use this as your template. It'll be pretty easy, okay? But for me, I get these little squares, and I'm just going to make the squares work. And then the idea is, what I'm going to do is, this is not exactly what I'm going to use, but this is a template for like a tool holder, so I'm just going to kind of use it. I'm going to make a board that fits right over that. I'm literally going to do this the easy way because, like I said, the squares go around there and all that. All I've got to do is use this little oscillation tool. Fairly easy. I put the blade on at an angle just so I can hold it and control it pretty easy. But yeah, we're just going to basically cut these tiles right out around the corners here. Okay, so we get the little dollar store level. We're going to mark it. Doesn't have to be perfect, we're just getting the idea of it. And all I'm doing with this, I'm not cutting through anything yet. You'll notice the power's still on and everything. Not cutting through anything yet in terms of past the floor. Just cutting through the actual tile here. Alright, there's our nice square. Right there. Okay. Now, this obviously is gross, but that's okay. We just need to make sure this will still fit in, which it will. Looks great. Now, at this point, I need to kill my power because if I go past that floor, let's say there's an electrical line running right through that floor, that's going to be bad news for me. I'm going to be cutting along and y'all going to witness a death on YouTube. That's if my wife figured out how to post the video. Next layer. Okay, so I gave up on the other little saw. Wasn't working out too well. So I went and grabbed my real saw. Okay. Now the deal with this thing is you got to be a lot more temperamental with it. And what I'm going to do is basically try to adjust this to where I'm barely cutting anything. Okay. These are just wood tiles. So they tiled over a wood tiled floor. Yeah, I wonder how much this sucker is.
Worth it though, whatever it is. Wow. You want some gloves to fix one of those?
No.
Unbelievable.
Which means I got another layer of this crap to go through. So much for this being an easy job. I gotta pull this black crap up.
Well, that's too. You're supposed to put that on top of it. If you're at the last layer.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because those right there go under the house.
Maybe. I thought I was at the last layer twice now.
No, that's what that is. It's the cover that goes over the wood.
Okay, so we got our hole cut here, and we ran into two little problems. One is, you can see this, there's this pipe. Just the camera here. You're looking like straight on here. See, there's this pipe running right there. If you can, I'm going to try to get the lighting here. You can see that the pipe runs down under the corridor here. It runs right underneath that. What I'm going to have to basically do, I'm hoping that comes across on the camera pretty well. Right there. I'm going to have to drop that pipe under that board there and reroute that whole sucker. So that's going to be issue number one I'm running into. Okay. Issue number two is this board right here. I'm trying to readjust the camera again. This board right here. That's foundation board. It's going to go right in the way of my fan here. So, can't do it that way, which means I got to come down this way a little. Now, the other foundation board is right here, basically. Like I'm touching it right now. It's right about right here. So what I'm going to have to do basically is I'm going to try to cut this down this way. Just a little more I'm going to have to cut off and all. But I didn't realize when I first got this project going how thick this floor was going to be. Apparently they, you can see right in here, they went over floor tiles to do this, which is why this floor is actually unbalanced. And we've noticed we're going to have to tear up this floor at some point. It's because they literally went right over old wood flooring panels. They put this floor, that when they should have pulled all that up. That's just being lazy also, as in many things in this house. So, two different things we're going to have to do here today. Is I'm going to have to recut this hole, move this pipe, and then I can actually mount my fan. So that's what we're going to work on today. So, okay, so here's what we're going to use to cut the actual hole. This is what I should have used yesterday. I just didn't own it, and didn't realize it was going to be this thick. I figured my little oscillation tool would be fine, and then I wound up using the actual circle saw for it, circular saw. But this is what I should have used instead, really. And so I went and bought one of these today. Okay, now this is $80 right now at Lowe's. Comes with the case, the whole deal. It's a pretty nice little unit. Right here. I'm a big component on, they make these that are battery powered also. Don't use the battery powered one. Battery power, you're going to run out of battery power. So, as you can tell, what we do. Now this is a demo blade I've got on here. It's not a normal blade. It's designed to go through nails and all this type of stuff. And you can see, okay, it'll go right through that. Now I've already set this little depth thing here. I've already set it at the highest I can get it at. So that's as far as I can get it. I really need to not go that far, but I'm just going to basically kind of cut down this way. Now, there's that foundation board right around here, okay, and I don't want to go through that. So I'm going to kind of cut back, and we're going to try to get too close with it without cutting through that. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just come in at an angle on that. So with any luck, yep, good. Okay, so that gets rid of that problem right there. I had one decision I'm needing to make here, so I figured I'd include y'all on viewing the decision-making process here on it. Is the fan here, it actually mounts to these little brackets, okay? So the brackets kind of hang off the side like that. Now the decision-making is I could do it that way, or I could just take some screws and literally drill through here. Because either which way, I got to make new holes for this, because the holes originally are down here. But that's not going to work for the way I'm trying to use this fan unless I mount it down there, to which case that's board's way down there and not hanging on anything. So it's better I just remount these up here. Okay, so I'm going to wind up screwing through this one way or another. Okay, so if I'm going to screw through it anyways, then I got a choice of either screwing through here direct into this board, or you're still using my brackets, to which case I got to come on the top. So the deal was, I've got down here this board here, okay? Now if I try to do it this way, I literally would basically have to move the fan into position first, bracket this in, get it all mounted on there, and then try to get that board in there, in which case that's going to be a pain in the butt, okay? If I put this here, I can literally use that to reinforce the original floor here. Just kind of hammer that into place here and use that to actually help support the floor right here, where I've actually removed some of the original wood. Which this, by the way, you can notice, if I pull it out, you can see it flex, okay? So if I can use this and actually secure this, which is what I prefer to do, then that's much better thing. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in here. I'm going to hammer that up there. And then we'll secure it right there, and we're just going to drill right through here. Now what that's going to do is, that's going to change the alignment I had a little, because I originally was going to put it here. So what that's going to do is it's going to make it go over here. At the same time, I remember my pipe issue. I can pull my pipe to the side right there, and I think it'll work just fine. Okay, let's get that. 2 more. Okay, so I went ahead and pre-drilled the holes I'm going to need. Put them around here. I'm going to face this electrical this way. That way I can pull the box back over here. This is a thermostat, basically. Like I say, I'm not sure whether it's going to stay where I put it permanently or not, because I don't know with the electrician. It's kind of his call. But we're going to mount those in for now. I'll drill here. Okay, now that pipe, turns out I don't need to move the pipe, okay? Because check it with it, I can actually, it's got enough flex, I can pull it to the side here and it'll be fine, see? So, all I gotta do now is reach down, pull that pipe to the side, right like that. It's gonna go right up against the side of this fan, and we should be fine. Now I've got to get this fan in position without trying to turn it too hard and cut myself, because it is sharp metal here. Okay, so I've got those pretty much in position. I'm going to kind of let it dangle there for a minute, and I'm going to screw in these posts here. Okay, provided that spins, we're good. That is all I need to do. So now this here, it'll go about like that, okay? We'll let the electrician worry about exactly how or where, okay? So we're just going to drop it down, let it dangle there for now, okay? Now, phase 2 of this is I got to resecure that hole. Can't leave it there. So we have this here, and we're actually going to use it. This is weather treated wood again. Basically the same thing you'd use for normal flooring. And we're going to take it and we're going to go right over the hole with it. We're of course going to measure it out, make sure it's not going to be a problem. And we're going to make a hatch right over that. So we got some measuring to do and we'll do some cutting. So if we've done that right, it'll fit right over here. If we didn't, which I'm actually expecting to have to do a little adjustments, but it should fit pretty close to just about. Yep, that's the big side. Pretty close to accurate. About. Now we'll have to build a hinge for that. Because what I want to do is I want to make it to where this thing here, I'm going to make it flush with the floor and it's going to pull up if I can. So I ran into one little problem, which was I was going to use, actually where's the brackets? I was going to use little brackets here to secure this. And what I was planning to do is there's 3 on that side. I was going to lip it like that right there, kind of to hold. Had it all measured out here. The problem is whenever I measured it out and all, and you put this in here, the screws go right into this part where the border was from the old floor, which is just wood tiles. You notice they still move around. So it didn't secure anything, and whenever I actually tried to step in on it, you can tell like on this side here, it ripped it right out. So I was like, well, that ain't gonna work. So what I did is, I had to think about this for a bit. Took all my fan back out, okay? And literally what I'm doing now is I've put another layer of wood here, okay? So I put another board here, just like this. I'm gonna move the whole fan assembly over this way some, so it'll be a little more this way. This board here should still be out here though, in terms of, you know, down here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one across the top this way, okay? Instead, that way this will reside on that. It'll cut a little of the area where the fan actually goes out, but it'll still be plenty of room for the suction to come through and all. And this will hold it on the back end, and then I'll just have a board. Now I might have actually cut this in half here, not sure, but it'll be enough to where it'll secure this up front here, so you can actually step on it without falling through. The brackets just didn't work, so since I was updating that and had to change the entire thing, figured I'd bring y'all up to date on that real quick. Okay, so here's what we wound up with finally. Okay, so we've got a lip here for the outer edge. It's equal to what this flooring is just about. Okay, we've got a stronger base here that adds a good little lip that you can step on. I added a back brace here. Okay, now I haven't strapped this in because I've still got the electrical to tie in here, which is probably going to go over that somehow. So I haven't strapped this down, but it's still in there good enough that it'll hold that. Okay, got our two braces that hold this, and of course then our fan. The fan, when I've got the electrical out of there, goes around no problem, despite it being a little curved over here. Okay, and our electrical box will go back in here somewhere, I think. But it's just one of those things of, we're going to put it on hold till the electrician gets here. Electrician's going to do more than just this thing. That's why I'm going to have the electrician wired in. But, because we're going to do a bunch of stuff in the kitchen on the other side here. But either which way, once I get that done, there's 2 hinges I'm going to add to this, okay? 2 hinges will go right like here. So this will lift up, and this thing will go right down, right like that, on top of there. Okay, and you'll notice that sucker's solid. Okay, so there in the long run of it is our little trap door that we've got with our fan, and that's how that'll basically work. Except for we'll add a hinge system, and like I said in the beginning of it, once I get it all said and done and we get the fan running, I'm going to actually make it like this here, where it'll have a grate system where I'm just going to drill through that. Right like that. It'll have the holes there for the air. That'll suck in from the house. And then that'll add the circulation I need to combat the mold issue. And that'll work out pretty well. But yeah, there you go. Fan with the trap door.